sound effects sometimes because you can hear it when we're on Zoom. I don't know.
No, I won't. I won't.
I don't know if you have any sound effects, if your sound effects will come too. Sometimes Zoom won't let you.
Oh, wow. Zoom is like that, huh?
Sometimes,
Zoom's a bitch.
Well,
Zoom is a bitch.
It might be fine from there end because we got this interface. I don't know.
It will play like
well, here,
anyone watching the stream will hear. Well,
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah, we heard that one. There we go.
Give us another one.
Call my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah. Come on. Boy, we finna have a fun time over here, man.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be the sound effects guy for tonight.
I'm ready. If
You're good. Okay. I'm trying to think what I was gonna do here.
Get your head out of your A.
I can't. It's
Get your H out of your A.
My head is so far into my A that I can't. Okay, I got what I gotta do. All right, boys. All right,
Cowboy.
All right, boys. Okay. We will. So what we'll do, Law, is you probably won't hear our intro music. So you'll know Alex and I will be moving around like idiots, and then you guys will know that we're live.
I'll do a little intro. Little intro.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Law will be in right away. So, okay, so I'm gonna go to
exactly.
We'll just let Alex call everything out.
Yeah,
because I won't hear it either because of Zoom. So
okay, so
you call it out.
Okay, I'm making the audio go live in 3, 2.
Okay.
Welcome to the Cowboys Can Fan podcast. I feel like my radio voice is not as strong as Laws. We have the Laws Nation here joining us, and Aunt Bess. But still,
baby, let's go. Crack him if you got him, son. Let's go.
Crack him if you got him.
We got a trifecta going. Law, what are you drinking? Are you drinking coffee?
No, it's not coffee. I'm drinking Lion's Mane. So
what is that?
It's a memory exceller. You
know,
exciter, you know what I'm saying? It's really good. You know, it
I
helps
thought
everything out. You know,
I thought you were going to say it's Micah Parsons' blood.
It might can help me out, you know.
So what's good? What's good? We haven't talked to you since before the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, you used to tell Alex to do an introduction for Law Nation, but I don't think Law Nation needs any type of introduction on the Cowboys Can Fan show because anybody who's watching us definitely be following and watching Law Nation. So, but yeah, what's good? Let's hear what have you been up to the last few months.
Well, you know, the Cowboys finally drafted a guy, big boy down inside, so I was pretty much happy with that, with the philosophy of going with a one-tech guy juxtaposed to trying to find a three-tech to make him a one-tech, so that's cool. The Schoonmaker at the time of the draft, I didn't know who he was or why they went that way, and down the line, I kind of like Overshown, and I kind of like Deuce Vaughn out of this draft, and I'm just ready for the season, man. The schedule came out. I see that the Cowboys got 2 New York teams for back-to-back, so it's all good. That's what's been going on so far.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat right now. Like, we got our picks now. The draft was exciting. You know, there was some tears, some cheers. But at the end of the day, right now, it's like I just want to see these guys out there on the field. That's why with OTAs, I think we're on day 2, and I haven't seen any information or anything that was like noteworthy of bringing up. I'm just wondering, Law, do you have any inside scoop of what's happening, or has it just kind of been a radio silence? Nothing really big.
Hey, Michael Parsons was there day 1.
Yes.
Hey, that's good news for us, right?
It's very good news for us.
That is true.
Especially after, you know, the early reports of him, it came out about him getting jacked up, getting to 345 pounds. He was going to miss all the off-season training to get jacked up. And then he shows up. So that is a surprise, and that is good. But I've been trying to scour the internet, like Alex said, too, and I just can't find fuck all about anything, really. And I was kind of hoping there'd be some videos on it, something that I could at least digest a bit. But there hasn't really been much. There's been a few Deuce Vaughn videos. Obviously, I'm going to say this. I got to ask you this. Deuce Vaughn, I know you like him, but is he not the most hyped up 6th-round player that the Cowboys have ever taken.
He may be. I just look at it like this. He will be the change of pace guy. And I'm not asking him to be the end-all, be-all. I want to see him only for a spoonful of reps. I need Tony Pollard to be back out there. I need for Rojo, Ronald Jones, for those who don't know, to be out there, and then Malik Davis. So if we can get a little sprinkle here and there from Deuce Vaughn, it'll be a plus for us. Because technically, by the stats and numbers, he had just as much yards or many yards as Jahmyr Gibbs as well as Bijan Robinson.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Deuce Vaughn had an amazing college career.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I do want to ask you about him, and we've talked about this a little bit, but between him and Turpin, do you think it's an end-all, be-all between them two? Can they coexist on the team, or do you think one or the other makes or breaks the team, or do both end up being on the roster?
Well, due to this new experiment that the NFL just released today, basically, it may not be no more need for Cavante Turpin for kickoff returns, or punt returns. So it could be a situation whereas if Cavante Turpin don't let his name be known out there for wide receiver play, then it's kumbaya for him, So hopefully Deuce Vaughn can make some splashes here. And the cheaper option would be, at this point, I think it would be Deuce Vaughn.
Well, with AJ, with the rules, I just want to clear this up. So, because we kind of talked about it prior, with these rules, is it now, so say the on the kickoff, it's kicked to the 1 yard line. All the guy has to do is fair catch it, and now it moves to the 25?
Right.
Oh, that's brutal.
I catch every catch,
that.
man. Just fair catch it.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Well, what the data behind that decision was, it would bring kick plays or return plays down, I believe, from 38% to 31%, which is a 20% drop, within that, 7%. Am I saying this correctly? But anyways,
he's a stats guy.
What it would essentially what it's doing is, it's just eliminate, because of the much higher concussion and injury rate on special teams. The NFL is doing everything they can to get that removed from the game and limit that. And on one side of it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't want to see you got to think like CeeDee Lamb was, for his first 2 seasons, was doing punt and I don't know if kick returns, right?
Des Bryant's done some. I mean, all the main players at some point. I'll ask you guys
just imagine, if one of them got rolled up on or something, bright career down the drain.
But I'll ask you this though. Say the guy gets kicked to the 1 yard line, right? He catches the ball. I want to see the stats on concussions. Is it the guys returning it, or is it the guys blocking? Because the guys blocking, they're going to be blocking regardless. You kick it to the 1 yard line. Right. Those first row of dudes, they're still banging. They're still running down, and they're still hitting heads. So I'd like to see the stats on, is it the guy returning the ball that's getting the concussion mostly, or is it the front line? Because if it's the front line, let's skip the song and dance and just take it out instead of just like slowly making it a shittier play. It's like, okay, why even waste our time watching us have a guy fair catch it every time?
Well, no, that's a good point.
That is a brilliant point. I think that this is all lipstick on a pig. I think that the NFL need to say, hey, we are making provisions. We are trying to limit concussions. And if they can take out a play to present to the committee of the people that's trying to sue them, then they can hold a lot of value there. So that's why I think that the NFL is just putting lipstick on a pig with it.
Yeah, that's a great clickbait clip title. Right. NFL's putting lipstick on pigs.
Yeah.
What? I mean, speaking of
lipstick on pigs,
lipstick on pigs, and potential cut candidates before we even get into the season.
Great segue.
I was just laughing at the segue.
I'm connecting it. Connecting it. Trust me. We just talked about Turpin. He might not have the position, and we need the roster spots for someone else, right? Like, there is a lot of quality depth, which we didn't have in linebacker. Maybe, I'm being optimistic. Let me be optimistic here, but the depth is more there. So and look at the D line. Like, there's a lot of decisions to be made there as who we keep and who we let go. So that extra spot, I mean, there's probably not a chance they're keeping both, right? Turpin and Vaughn. Like, is that a possibility? So before we hop into this, I just want to know, do we have any guesses of who could be some cut candidates before training camp? And I looked at the article, so I don't want to cheat. But.
Well, I would say Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright, Gilmore, Neville Gallimore. I meant to say not
Gallimore,
Gilmore.
yeah.
Gallimore,
yeah.
Gilmore, yeah. You know, Neville Gallimore.
Hey, I got roasted on the Coles for making that mistake last week or so.
Gilmore, he just
Come on.
Big offseason news. Cowboys trade for Stephon Gilmore and then cut him around OTAs. Talk about putting some lipstick on pigs.
Right. Breaking news. Breaking news. It is actually true. No.
So Nashawn Wright, Gallimore. Cut candidate Gallimore, Nashawn Wright, and you said
Boss Man Fat.
Boss Man Fat. Get the
Fat. Rico Didal. Who else?
Yep. Yeah, Dowdle. Yeah, that's one that you don't think of because he's kind of hung around here for the last few seasons, and he did show some promise. The dude's just had such shitty luck with injuries at the wrong time. If one guy out of those dudes is going to get picked up by another team, I could see him out of that group of guys that you just said, Dowdle at least making his move on to another team. But Gallimore, Gallimore for sure. And that hurts us to say because we're Canadian boys and he's a Canadian boy. So we always like when there's a Canadian on the Cowboys, but he's definitely his third season last year was, let's just say a little underwhelming. His sophomore season, he kind of got injured and missed a bunch of time. And then last year he was just blown off the ball way too much. And that's the reason they went out and drafted this one tech that we need to eat some space up. So he might just be an odd man out on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, Lau.
No, I was going to say Will Greer, he could be a casualty too. Now, due to the new ruling with the third emergency quarterback.
That's right.
So why carry another quarterback when you can just put him on the emergency squad?
Yep.
Yeah. So that do you know what that rule is?
No.
Okay. Well, the emergency quarterback rule is you can basically he has to make it to the 53-man roster, I believe, but then he's not going to eat up a spot. And you can have him come and play this third QB, but you have to have your first and second quarterback be injured and not be able to return for your third.
Will this be forever the San Francisco 49ers?
I was just going to say, was that because is it the San Francisco 49er rule?
They overloaded the internet with bitching, and they're like, "Hey, we can't deal with this ever again."
We do not want to hear another bang bang Niner gang. Please just make up a rule for them.
The bang bang rule.
The bang rule.
Yeah.
I think all the teams voted for it though. Like 32 out of 32.
Why wouldn't you want it though? Would you imagine this? Imagine this. You kick ass all season. You make the NFC Championship game, and then your two quarterbacks go down. I mean, it makes no sense for teams not to want to have that rule, but it's just funny the way that it kind of.
Well, the NFL wants that rule. The NFL wants that type of rule because they don't want something to happen where that quarterback goes down and then you're like using Christian McCaffrey as your quarterback.
They don't want section 103 seat 54 to come in and have to be throwing the football. You know,
it's like a movie, like The Replacements or something.
But in the NHL, that happened once or twice in lore history. Like a person
they picked a fan.
Well, this is back when it was like the 60s or 70s.
Eagles did
it. They pulled a goalie from the crowd who was in attendance from the local farm team or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, this is like way back in the day, though, right?
Yeah. Like when Wayne Gretzky was scoring 200 points a season. So yeah, this is by Randy Gurzy. This article, our home here, thelandryhat.com. And
home
Randy
of the Cowboys Can Fan podcast.
Home of the Can Fan. 5 players. Let's get into it. Looks like Hankins is number 1.
Wow.
Weird.
Or he's going to be on the list here. Well, he's on the photos. So I think we can helpfully bet that he's going to be on this list.
I hope he's not.
Yeah. We start with Simmy Fioko. I don't know. I think he's just going to be a survivor, but because if you think about it, yeah, we know who our top 3 are, but after that, it gets dicey, you know? I think he has just as good a chance as anyone at this point to be, four. Are we keeping 5 wide receivers? I would guess at minimum.
Probably six.
Probably six. Yeah.
It depends what we do with Turpin. If you're keeping Turpin to fill that punt returner, kick returner thing, even though there's a little bit of gray water around that, I think you're keeping 6. But like you said, the top 3 guys are set in stone. I got to argue that Jalen Tolbert's probably getting his second year chance.
Right.
So I would even lean towards possibly 4 spots are kind of cemented a little bit.
Sure. Well, look, Simmy Fioko has had all the chances. He's had some kind of moments, I guess, in preseason or in training camp with some big catches or some big highlights. But, it's funny because there's something telling when that stuff happens and then that player just never gets a chance on the field. Because if it was translatable to an NFL level, you would think that he'd be out there playing, right? But I don't know. So what is it that's keeping him off the field yet still hanging around on the Cowboys?
Yeah, we crashed.
I was going to say we're frozen, boys.
Y'all frozen?
Yeah, 1 sec.
I'll just make a little quick note. That's all right. Just take a little breather, little break here.
No doubt.
So all we do here, Law, is Ad's just gonna restart OBS and we'll be smooth running again here. Why the fuck we need a supercomputer? Law, where do you live? I'm in route.
Dallas,
where do you live?
Man. Come on down. Dallas.
I'm in route.
You know what?
Down. Look, you Simmy Fioko us, man. What happened? Here's what happened. Simmy, all training camp and off season, he make the spectacular catches. He doing everything. I said, man, that 81 looking nice. He looking like Miles Austin before the Kim Kardashians, right?
Yep.
So now all of a sudden, when it's time for him to play on preseason and regular season, he disappears. Come on.
Well,
Sam.
we all remember last preseason. Remember the viral video of him going and burning Trevon Diggs for the go route for the touchdown?
Yeah.
And the internet absolutely fucking exploded.
Yeah.
Like, I think every single person on the internet that watches football at that time of the year reposted this video of Fioko burning Trevon Diggs. And I was on the side of it being going, oh, okay, maybe Fioko's good. We all know in training camp, the wide receivers are basically set up to win. Like a go route. If you're not winning a go route one-on-one on the outside, most of the time when there's no safety over the top, you shouldn't be in the NFL, right? You shouldn't be it. So I did see that with Fioko last year, and I was like, okay, maybe he took the step, but I don't know. Does he just end up bouncing from the practice squad to maybe in the roster to the practice squad? But he's another guy that's on thin ice, kind of like I don't even think Jalen Tolbert's on thin ice right now. I think Jalen Tolbert's still shelved a little bit, but Fioko's definitely a cut candidate in my mind.
Well, this offense going to fit him like a glove. You talking about West Coast, you looking at deep overs, your shallows. You're looking at some of the offense that Stanford ran when he was in college. So I'm going to look at it like this. He should utilize his 6'3" frame, 4'3" speed, and he should be able to do deep overs. He should be able to run post routes. I'm for sure should not see him on any hitches or comebacks or any stop routes. I should just see him running even a seam. I want to see him on a seam route. I want the Cowboys to utilize his height, size, and speed to get him open. So hopefully we will see him more, not just in the offseason, but during the preseason and regular season game this year.
Definitely.
Well, is it fair, though, that if we're giving Tolbert a pass and kind of maybe blaming Vanilla Pudding Kellen Moore, that we kind of need to be fair and do that for everyone, at least like
Fioko's
give him the fair chance.
He's had his chance though.
But he's always been under Kellen Moore.
I get that, but he's also had he's not in his second year. He didn't have the draft stock or capital as Jalen Tolbert. He was I think he was taken into 6th. He was a 5th or 6th. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the difference between a 3rd round pick and a 6th round is no matter what, your 3rd round pick from the previous season is going to get a chance in his sophomore season. That's going to happen regardless. No matter what fans say, oh, Tolbert is off or his getting offside at shitty times, his drops, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's getting a second chance. The Cowboys aren't ready to admit that they made a mistake on a guy. And a person that you could basically point that philosophy philosophy 2 is Boss Man Fat. Boss Man Fat sucked. He sucked, but he was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
He's still on the team, still getting chances. So they're going to try to do that with Tolbert also.
Well, you got to lobby and be a politician at this point. And if I'm Simmy Fioko, if I'm Kelvin Joseph, if I'm one of those guys that's on the short end of the stick, I'm going over there, hey, coach, Bones, come on, man. You need some water.
Yep.
You need your clothes washed and folded, Yeah. So that's how they can make this team actually is making it via the special teams. Now, we can go down a list right here. How many wide receivers do you guys foresee the Cowboys taking?
6 for me.
Five
I think
or
6. I think 6.
Let's count them up. Count them up for me.
Okay, so
we're going
Lamb?
at Lamb, Cooper. What an idiot.
Cooper Rush.
Bring him back.
Bring them back.
I'm still that butthurt about Cooper being gone that I'm still like,
he's
on the team this year.
And you gotta let it go, but dude, you gotta let it go.
Gotta let it go.
What do we think, guys? So we're saying Lamb.
Right.
We know we're 3. Lamb Cooks, Gallup.
Those for sure. I still think Turpin makes it, and I think Jalen Tolbert. So those are the 5 for sure for me. And then I don't know. I think we're gonna have to wait for camp to see if someone out of the amount of wide receivers that we have out of these undrafted free agents and these 3rd or 4th year guys, hopefully one of them excels enough that we're forced to take a 6th wide receiver.
Well,
I don't know who that is.
Well, here's what I got. I got a dark horse, Jalen Cropper, and I guess you can throw in I got a white horse out of David Durden. So
Yes.
those guys are gonna have to make sure that they can make some moves out there. So my dark horse is Jalen Cropper, and my white horse is David Durden. Both of those guys can run. He's fast, and he was unbelievable in the small college. So hopefully, man, they can nudge and get these other guys up out of there, like the Simmy Fiocos or even Cavante Turpin. So they're going to have to make some noise. They're going to have to make some noise.
Well, and that's like when you look back to, something obviously just wasn't like we didn't even see Turpin get a shot really at receiver except for the trickery play at the end of season, right? The gadget play. So it's like it wonders, okay, maybe we won't ever see him as a receiver. If anything, we have to see him as a receiver in preseason, and we got to see what he can do outside of just running the ball back, because he absolutely has to step up, or else what's his role on the team, specifically with like a Deuce Vaughn coming in here. But yeah, I like the story of these small college guys coming in and like really turning it up in camp and then making a name and then actually having like a decent season. I want to see a dark horse or a white horse, because I believe in both colors of horses. Try and make a big play.
Oh, if you don't want brown horse?
No, I don't. Okay. I see it in black and white.
Yeah. But we just mentioned special teams. So we know for sure CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, nor Brandon Cooks is going to play on special teams. So if I'm on the back end of it, like the Dennis Houstons of the world who made the team last year, first game, right? So there should be hope for the other undrafted guys and say, hey, last year, opening week, Dennis Houston made the team. So I know I got a chance. So we know everyone is going to have a legitimate chance. It's just that they're going to have to take the opportunity to go grab and hold it.
My hope for that 6th spot, or that last spot, say it's 6 here for sake of argument, is that it's someone who's hungry, who is driven, who may not be the best skilled out of the bunch, but you can tell that they're going to put in the work, come to be the first one in, last one out. That's the type of guy that you want, because skill-wise, it's like, that's great, but we got the skill that's going to be out there 95% of the time. What we're looking for is someone who, I hate to say it, of course, but that Tom Brady.
You said his name. I said his name.
It's ridiculous because, of course, every single team wants that. But the reality is, you want the person who's going to come in and just their determination is going to bring them to the next level. Skills would be awesome too, and if they're in the NFL, they do have a skill set.
Okay.
Well,
But it's
I'll
that
give you.
determination.
I'll give you one
hang
kind
on,
of.
hang on.
Oh,
I
you
got a
got some
doc.
chat?
I got a docket record question for Law Nation. This is from two-time Can Fan Award winner Bot G Eric with a $10 USD super chat. Which just for you non-Canadians, that's like $30 in Canada. So
You just bought us booze for the next month.
Let's go.
he wants to know, Law, are you going to be attending training camp in Oxnard, California this year?
Oh, yes. My goal is to be there for the opening week. But, yeah, I will be there live like 95, man. I will be up in there, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Sweet. Okay.
Hey, Law, when you're there, can you set up like a booth and do a live stream from there if it's possible, or is it are you just kind of collecting content and?
Yeah, they got something going on like a jammer out there because the Wi-Fi signal or the internet signal is very trash, man. So that's why you don't see a lot of live stuff because they got a lot of weak spots out there. So I will do a on the front end video and a post video live about what happened that day, and of course compile all of the footages and clips that I can throughout the day. Mm-hmm.
Well, we're making the big plan to go down as well. So we'll plan. We should definitely plan around the same time.
Yeah.
Well, because
shoot some double content.
Yeah, Law, you were down there last year. I was watching some of your stuff. It's usually generally terms. It's end of July, kind of start of August is kind of when training camp kicks off. Correct? Because we're waiting for dates to drop so that we can kind of plan on heading down. But right now our plans to definitely get down there at some point. So we would love to link up for sure.
Let's get it. We should have not a good time, but a great time out that way. And everybody that's watching, come on out, man. It's going to be a great time with us, man. My brothers from the north is coming down to the south.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Well, and some Can Fan lore for you, Law. Eric, who we call Bot G Eric, which is an acronym for Boots on the Ground. He got his name Boots on the Ground because he went to training camp last year and he was filming a bunch of content for us and we were playing it. So Bot G is going to be there. So yeah, I mean, this will be great. Let's get everybody down and have a great time, as Law Nation says. Okay. That was the docket wrecking question. I tried to get it on Alex so that I was interrupting Alex to keep in sync with what I do, but I interrupted you, Anth. You probably don't remember.
I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. What I do know is we've only seen one of the 5 players on that list. So let's get number 4.
Yes, number 4, Josh Ball. Kind of obvious, not maybe, but I don't know. I feel like although, as was it Stephen Jones who said our 5 guys are our 5 O linemen and just don't worry about anything more about it. It's like, okay, I get that. But also then as well, what about all the, injury history that we've had that we need to kind of prepare for? And we're lucky enough last year, maybe lucky, maybe not, but Peters was available and came in and shored up what otherwise would have been a real painful spot on the O-line. So Josh Ball, are you surprised or not? Or are they replacing him with this new draft pick in Asim Richards?
Joshua Ball. We need to see something out of him. If not, he's going to be a guy that's going to be on the outside looking in. They also got Chuma Edoga. We want to see what he can bring to the table. Yes. We got rid of Connor McGovern, who was an athletic guy from the standpoint of versatility, but we still have the biggest hole on his team is guard. But I already see that we have Terrence Steele going to come back. I'm already looking at the provisions of what this team is going to do with Matt Waletzko. So Joshua Ball, he may be a situation of cut time.
Yeah, I gotta ask. I want to ask just before we move on. AJ is as far as the starting lineup here for our offensive line, because going through the draft process, and granted, we're fans, right? We try to compile as much as we can and make our thought process based on that. But were you surprised a little bit that the Cowboys didn't necessarily target a guard in the first, say, 3 rounds, and they kind of did just fall back on who's in house? And is offensive line a bigger issue going into the season this year than it was last year?
Are you asking me?
Anyone. Whoever.
Matt,
I wasn't listening, so I can't.
Okay, so the front five are solid. Then we look at those, I guess, the second positions. Chuma Edoga could be really strong. And I think I said it right, okay? Just back off.
You did, okay.
Look, the names I have wrong are the ones that I've said 100 times, not the ones that are new to me.
I was just laughing at that troll in the comments. It's like, is your guys' goal to mispronounce every single name that you say? And we're like, well, obviously you have never been on the show before, so yes.
The answer is yes. But let's go. Big boy, big wingspan, lots of potential promise, but I believe it was an injury. Didn't get rolled up on his leg or something. So that was unfortunate. But otherwise, across the rest of them, then of course, Asim Richards, who knows what he's going to do, but there's really not a lot of depth. There's Matt Farniok, Ball, and then Brock Hoffman. Yeah, Alec Lidstrom, which I'm just looking at the depth chart. They have him on third, but he might actually be second. Yeah. So, a lot of names we haven't seen, but I don't know. Is that something to be scared of?
Well, they switching up the philosophy. Mike Solari, he's gonna be more. He want these guards to be athletic, and he want them to pin to pull from the inside. So it could be a situation and scenario that Tyler Smith, week 1, would be your interior guard. Tyron Smith will be the left tackle. Of course, your centers, Tyler Biotish, and then, of course, Zach Martin and Terrence Steele. So why did they went and got Chuma Edoga, who was a third-round draft pick by the Jets who played tackle? Well, they're going to kick him down inside. Oh, just as well as with Awesome Richards. He's going to be a guy that was a tackle that's going to be squeezed and kicked inside to be your guard. So they're looking for guys to be athletic, that can play down inside at that guard spot to pull or to get out in front. So this is going to be a run-heavy team, according to Brian Schottenheimer, and as well as what Mike McCarthy said. So I'm looking back at this and saying that if these guys like Josh Ball, if they don't have the flexibility to stand tall and play, then he could be a casualty of positioning of not being able to fit in for what Mike Solari is trying to do.
And with that, like the Tyler Smith thing going to guard, I don't know if I like it, but I think it's more of the point. If Tyron Smith can actually stay healthy and string together the start of a season, not have a crazy injury happen to him in training camp, it's probably the best combination of guys. Like, think of it. Think of Tyron Smith. He's a fringe Hall of Famer.
True.
He without his injuries, the guy's he's put in work since he was 20 years old. If he can stay healthy and have one last good run, and then you have Tyler Smith, who's just an absolute mauler. Like, my biggest worry is if either of those guys goes down, or say even more than that, if Tyron Smith goes down, okay, whatever, you kick out Tyler Smith out to left tackle, right? But then what happens if he goes down? Then we're just up shit's creek, man.
we messed up.
I think messed up. But that's the so that makes sense, right? So Tyrone Smith, if he gets injured, then Tyler Smith goes outside, and then you have Chuma and Asim Richards waiting in the wings guard. This is in theory, right? Let's hope that's how it plays out.
That's what they're leaning on. That's what they're leaning on. And Matt Letsko will be your swing tackle, right?
Exactly, yeah. So when you look at it that way, we are covered. I mean, Biadaz is just a freaking gargoyle in there. He doesn't get hurt, knock on wood. Well, so
our boy EJ Savage is saying in 38 career starts at UNC, he only had one at guard. 37 starts at left tackle. Think he'll be a swing tackle.
Yeah.
Well, but look at Tyler Smith. He played guard, or he played tackle pretty much his whole career, and then they planned when they drafted him. They planned on him being a guard. So I mean, it's hard to say just because what they did in college is what they're going to do. It's tough to say what their actual plan is until it happens. No one thought Tyler Smith was going to be the left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys at this point last year. It was Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard.
Yeah.
Then Tyron gets hurt. Crackbat, get it, son.
Yeah.
Crackbat.
Got him.
But then so you can't really put that completely to fruition. You have to wait to see what the depth chart is at the start of the season.
Yeah. I guess my perspective here now is just, okay, in the position that we did think was most necessary, although perhaps we didn't get that first or second round pick, which still is a lot of question marks anyways, right? Like no pick is certain. Chuma and Richards are there to back it up. Now Richards is a 6th round pick, or 5th round pick. So, it is what it is, but there's more there than what we think.
I think the guy that's going to surprise us all is Matt Farniok,
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going to be the guy that surprises all. He's going to be like the Connor McGovern 2.0.
Hey, who got high praise moving over to Denver? He got some high praise from all the Cowboys, or from Mike McCarthy, of course. Said he's the best O-line on that team now.
Oh. Who, McGovern?
Yeah.
Yeah,
McCarthy.
I honestly didn't mind McGovern, to be honest. I like the fact that he could do a bunch of shit, and that's sure he's not the most talented guy, but you could switch him around. Oh, Jay Hankins made the list at 3.
But it kind of makes sense. I mean, this guy came in, saved the day for the Cowboys, but now, hey, your services just might not be wanted anymore. And it's football, baby. But the Cowboys certainly drafted this year to show like, hey, we're going all in on our D line, or they packed that. I like Junior Fioko too. I think he could. I mean, he might be the Fioko that becomes the best Fioko on the team. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's the best Fioko?
They can't have too many Fiocos on one team.
You got to be Fioko kidding me.
Yeah, you Fioko.
Get the Fioko out of here.
Yeah,
that didn't work as well.
But whoever lose out got to cut that ponytail, that's hanging out of the back of the helmet. But I look at Fioko as a hybrid guy. He's going to play on the outside, but they're going to squeeze and force him back inside. On the high end, he can be like a Michael Bennett, who played for the Seattle Seahawks back in the days, and he had a cup of coffee over here as well. Or on the low end, he can be another Chauncey Golston with us, Or he can be the equivalency of a Tyrone Crawford. Y'all remember him? He's
Jay Ratliff, maybe even, the couple.
No, Crawford.
You don't think so?
I think he's more.
Crawford. Crawford, another Canadian boy. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
58 was 98 was an absolute beast for the Cowboys and an underdog. So, but I like Jay Hankins. I don't want to see him gone. I think he, like Alex said, helped us last year, kind of saved the day. And there's always room for these guys. Like you have Hankins, Smith, Mozzie Smith, and Odigizua, right? Like I don't mind having 3 big boys up front, to be honest.
If they cut Jonathan Hankins, that means that these 2 things had to happen. There's a guy by the name of Big Bo. They call him Bohanna, right? Big Bo. And either he can excel or the other guy, Isaac Alacone, because he's the guy that's been switched over to defensive tackle. That will be the only way that Jonathan Hankins is cut from this team. They would have to have an unbelievable training camp.
Which is good for the Cowboys in a whole.
Which is good.
It's good. If Hankins gets cut because one of those guys has finally turned the corner, that's a good thing. They're younger than him. They're a little bit more agile. They might not be as big. But I like that. I like the big dude, and I liked what he did last year. So
yeah. So I don't see it happening, though. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't see
I agree. I agree. I think there's other places, and if you're looking at him as a second string dude, I mean that's positive, right? If Hankins is going to be playing second string.
I thought that Hankins will start and then have Mozzie to come in, but the way they are high on Mozzie, I think he's going to be the starter and be the inverse.
Yeah, no, I'm in the, if that's the case, it's a good thing. If Hankins ends up being in our second string, well, then we assume he's been outplayed by someone else. So, but yeah, I agree. I think he probably is going to be the starter. It's funny because he's number 3 on this list.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Or 4, sorry.
No, he's 3.
3, yeah. Okay, let's go to number 2.
On to number 2, baby!
Hey, let's go.
Ronald Jones. Did he
Rojo.
just stop over for a little nightcap?
Crack me if you got him.
son. Crack me if you got him. Let me get one in me too here. Let me get one in me.
Is Rojo going to be the?
Here's the look.
Crack him if you got him, man.
I do like crack him if you got him. I do
Crack me
like.
if you got him, son.
I like Rojo, but I wouldn't be against them putting Davis, moving him up and giving him more time because I think we all like what we saw in the time that he did play in preseason. Did he come in any?
Yeah, he had a couple good games. He had a good game against the Colts.
Right.
Tennessee he had a couple good runs. Well, for why they didn't end up using him more when Tony Pollard went down against San Francisco is beyond me. I agree with you. If Rojo's cut, that means we're frozen again.
Oh my God. Holy fuck.
Freeze number 2.
Oh.
But
I know that this is the gear. Hey,
Fioko, you know.
oh, Fioko, my a-hole.
Yeah. Well, I just look at it like this: if Rojo cut, meaning that that they're gonna figure out a way to bring back Ezekiel Elliott. At that point, if you get rid of somebody who's your most veteran guy on this team, I don't think that they will roll into the 2023 season with no veteran running back. And of course, Tony Pollard got to be ready, right?
Yep.
Oh, this is the fear about Tony Pollard. It's not that the injury is scheduled from what I read anyways. And I'm this is my memory. I smoke a lot of the marijuana, so, it could be a little screwed up. But point being here.
Every day.
But TP, he should be recovered on a medical clearance level by the time the NFL starts. But historically, when you look at leg injuries, the player always takes a season to get back to where they were. I hope Tony Pollard is something special and doesn't have to deal with that. But historically, it's just the case. So I'm a little nervous of not that he can't come out there and play, but the workload it's the increased workload suddenly that he's going to have to bear.
Right. It's not just he's coming back. It's also more responsibilities. We haven't seen him have more than 14 to 15 attempts consecutively ever in his career. So now you're asking him to do that. Plus, with the weight and the pressure of the money on the table, it's going to be hard for him to do. I know it sounds easy, but $10 million in his pocket, that brings a lot of responsibilities and expectations. So that's why, you can have those big reservations on that. Only one player came back and like after a big injury, like he never had one. Was what was his name? Was it Adrian Peterson?
Yeah, AP.
2K yards, man.
Yeah. See, he's not from this plane.
No, exactly.
Universe. So yeah. But I will roll with Malik. But here's the thing, y'all. It's crazy because training camp, OTAs, all of this with running backs. Hell, the Cowboys can sign me, and I would look good out there because you don't hit in practice. You don't get a chance to see whether or not this person really going to block somebody who's shooting through the A-gap. You would not really see if that running back can do anything until week 1 because even preseason is a lot of vanilla football.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want. I want to see and the Cowboys probably haven't had that player since I'm going to say 2016 because there was 2 players that kind of did it. Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott in preseason pretty much said, hey, man, we're NFL players. Zeke came out, took on Cam Chancellor head on, fucking cleaned him out twice, I think. Dak Prescott came in, had an amazing preseason. Obviously, Tony Romo went down, and you're like, okay, I feel a little bit confident with this guy in. Since then, I don't think there's been a player that has had minus Turpin last year. Turpin against the Chargers. He kind of had that 2 kickoff return game. But besides those 3 guys, there hasn't been that player in preseason that you're like wowed by. We all watch preseason. We're all hoping for that moment to be like, oh man, week 2 of the 2023 preseason, we watched this dude and we knew he was going to be amazing. Right. I'm waiting for that Dallas Cowboy player to do that in the preseason. And you can't disregard it. You're just like, that guy's a football player. Terrell Davis, when He was playing for the Broncos. They were in Japan. He's a running back, but he was fielding kicks. He ran down and absolutely earholed the guy that was carrying the ball. I want to see a play like that you're like, this guy is a football player. Could Schoonmaker do it? Could Deuce Vaughn? Deuce Vaughn is a high candidate to do that in the preseason. The first time that guy goes for a 40-yard run in the preseason, Twitter's exploding.
The internet's gonna break. The internet's gonna break.
Well, who
Cowboy internet's gonna break, just like our Can Fan internet over here, crashing all the time.
Who has the better chance of being cut? I guess out of Davis, Jones, and Vaughn. I get like Jones, right?
Probably Jones. Jones.
Yeah. Or it's
Jones.
all about the sneak factor too. Who you can sneak on the practice squad to bring back up. And there could be another situation for Rico and whoever else. I think the Cowboys still going to pick up another count body by the time preseason hit for running back.
Right.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think that they're sure about that at all, and I'm certainly not. So
it's probably our most uncertain position right now on the team.
Oh, I forgot, man. We all forgot about Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I love me some. I'm actually.
He's an interesting player.
I'm really excited to see what they do with him. I want to see how they use him in some blocking schemes. But I also think that he's a halfback, fullback, blocking, tight end. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him offensively.
You the GM right now. How many running backs you roll with?
Oof. I mean, you're running with six wide receivers already. So
you got to go three. You got to go three.
Yeah. 100%.
What if I told you in 2016 we were a heavy run team at that time? We went with 6 running backs. Can you?
Whoa!
Can you name them?
No, I absolutely cannot name them. I expect Anth to do that when we get.
I probably won't even be able to, man. Obviously, Ezekiel Elliott. Fuck.
Was Murray then?
Was Run DMC still on the team?
2.
Darren McFadden was on the team.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of the 6th round pick that we had. Man, 6th round pick, running back, right around that area. I can't even. I'm drawing a blank. Once you say his name, I'm gonna be like, "Yep." Who else?
Who are they?
Yeah. It's the tip of my tongue too. But I know
you know the number.
You know the number.
Yeah.
But you know I'm talking about. There was that 6th round.
Alfred Morris was there. Remember that?
Oh
right?
yeah, Morris was there. Okay,
yeah.
Morris was there. Yep.
Yeah.
Then they had the 6th round. They had the 6th round running back who
Scarborough.
Bo Scarborough. Yeah.
They
Bama.
They did draft him.
Yeah.
That was from EJ.
Yeah.
No, there was a different guy. I can't think of his name.
Man,
it's when I went through all the 6th round picks.
Rob Smith was here too, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
Keith Smith. It's coming to me now. Keith Smith, you remember him? 2 fullbacks.
Yep.
Rod Smith, Keith Smith. Who else?
Rod Smith was awesome, man.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I liked Rod Smith for a couple of years there. 6 running backs. That is insane.
Yep.
How many? So we obviously went 5 wide receivers there. Probably 2 tight ends. You got to think you have Jason Witten as your tight end. You ain't carrying 4 tight ends right at that point, right? You got Jason Witten and you got whoever is on the field with them. That's the main thing. You had a Hall of Famer playing still at tight end. We're now, how many times did we run 4 tight ends last year on the game day roster? That was kind of our thing. So
yeah. So if Hunter makes this team,
which I think he will.
You don't have to roll with 3 tight ends active,
right?
4 tight ends active. You would pretty much essentially use him as one of them. Somebody said Lance Dunbar was the other running back.
Dunbar, nice. That guy could never lived up to his potential, did he?
Is Hunter going to force his way into the clone zone through a backdoor entrance?
He's going to take. He's going to take it over. He's going to take it over.
A hybrid tight end. He can be.
I could see that.
He can be that H-back that we need. We can literally model our entire offense, and I hate to say this, off the 49ers. Literally.
Yep.
Why not, man?
Yeah.
You see what they're doing. Yeah. I like that idea because you'd have Schoonmaker and Ferguson on your tight ends.
Right.
Hunter Hunter could be wherever the hell you need to play
He
him.
could be number 44, wherever the 49. What's that 44 guy on?
Juszczyk.
Juszczyk, yeah.
Cal Juszczyk. He can be that version, right?
And you still can have 2 RBs on the field too.
So that's pretty
Two
much
other
saying,
guys.
if that's the case, you got to say McKeon's cut.
Yeah.
McKeon's should be cut, which I don't know if we're going to see him on this list, this 5 potential cut candidates. But if they are going to keep Hunter at that kind of switchblade, do it all type position, McKeon's 100% disposable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they talk about Luepke here. However you say that guy's name.
Luepke.
We're calling him Hunter. Luepke, okay. Luepke, we're calling you Hunter.
HL.
HL double hockey sticks. Okay, Jordan Lewis, there he is. CB, I'm surprised about that.
I don't love that. I don't love that pick.
No.
That's not even on my radar, to be
Not
honest.
even.
Jordan Lewis isn't getting cut. There's just no way.
I can't even pay it. Like,
you say $5 million. What you gonna do with that money too?
Right? Realistically, you're better off to have him on there.
Yeah, true.
yeah, I was gonna say, hopefully you're not just gonna stash it. Stash it for what? Like,
Well, it depends on your thoughts on Bland and who is it, Wright, and the rest of the CBs.
Bale. You got Bale. You got who else can
Then
play
the-
that?
That the draft pick.
Oh,
Eric Scott Jr. The thing is, the amount that you
oh my gosh, what
Adam,
the fuck?
I'm gonna drive to your
Exit this.
house and I'm gonna light it on fire.
I don't know what's going on.
But the thing with this,
Mhm.
you play dime enough in the NFL that having Deron Bland and Jordan Lewis is a good thing. Like people are already saying Bland should be replacing Jordan Lewis. The NFL's a what have you done for me recently type, right? And Deron Bland had a great season, but he had one great season. Jordan Lewis, every time he's been on the field, he brings that attitude. He's that kind of guy this team needs on that defense. So I personally would want Jordan Lewis and I would want Deron Bland both on this defense.
Yeah, I'll keep him he's a hell of an insurance policy, And
yeah, even if he's not your nickel guy, who cares if someone goes down? He's able to step in. He's played even a little bit on the outside, right? Even if Gilmore or Trevon Diggs go down, at least Jordan Lewis has stepped in a little bit on the outside, and he can play on the outside. Where Deron Bland, can he in the NFL on the NFL stage play on the outside? That's yet to be determined. He's definitely a slot guy, so I'd like to see Jordan Lewis on the team.
Yeah, if anything, this will be his last season. So a contract year, play lights out, and if not, you still have other guys that can come in and fill that area because we got a Bland now. It's not a rush for him to get out there on the field.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing about Bland is he and Lewis too. Let's be honest. The arrival of Gilmore has totally put the pressure off those guys and allowed them just to compete in a way that's hopefully more beneficial because it's going to be against arguably lower quality wide receivers, right? They're probably not going to be facing the number 1 or number 2 guy, but still against most NFL teams now have a pretty strong set of 3 wide receivers, right? So you're not. When I first started watching football, it was 2 wide receivers, and I think that they've added the necessary need for that strong 3rd wide receiver talent. So they're still going to get that experience. And the other thing about CB is it was a position of kind of questionable need last year. Now we're talking about cutting some of those guys. I mean, it feels good to have surpluses in a lot of the areas we talked about, because I feel like last year it was oh man, are we going to have the players? Mind you, Tyler Smith was a great pick. So hopefully that tradition continues for the Cowboys, and all these picks that we have are going to be who they hope they are.
No doubt. And Johnny Bones, somebody got to play special teams. So if that spot right there is a voided area, trust and believe whoever can make the special teams can find themselves on this team and could create that balance of, hey, I can cut this guy because this guy can play special teams and as well as give us start play. So, hey, that's the area of the unknown or the known until this.
Well, and that's
off.
one of those things. Like we're pretty big fans. Like I'll consider us pretty big fans, but we sometimes overlook that aspect of the game where a guy that possibly will go, play ringer on punt return, or he'll run down and smash into dudes, opposed to a guy who can't. That's so valuable, and I do like the fact that the Cowboys, you always get that linebacker that they draft for that reason, and you're always kind of question it at times.
Right.
Where you're like, special teams is still such a big part in the NFL that you have to have those guys. So you call him Johnny Bones. We call him vasectomy coach because of
that story.
His tirade on
Hard Knocks.
On Hard Knocks, where he's like trying to be that cool coach talking about his vasectomy. But
wait a minute.
But definitely, but you're definitely right. That's such a huge part of who you take when it gets into the fourth or fifth guy at a position group.
So there was another article here written by NFL.com. Okay. And they wrote an article, the NFL's top 10 most complete teams for the upcoming season. Their criteria summed up is the teams with the most talent, the best depth, and the fewest remaining question marks. The Dallas Cowboys are on this list. Okay. And I guess before we roll through, should we go around and have a guess as to where the Cowboys rank?
I'm going to do some behind baseball real quick, guys. I don't see your guys' feed right now.
Oh, yeah, well, we building the plane while it's in the air, huh? Yeah, here we go. The feed is up now.
Is it back? Is it back?
Yeah, they were running. They just hadn't clicked something. I had to behind baseball it for Law and I because I knew we weren't seeing you guys. Anyways, so NFL's top 10 most complete teams for the 2023 season. Well, we know the top two off the top. They're gonna blow the KC and the Eagles D's, right? We know those are gonna be the top two.
Right.
Law, who do you think? Let's guess. I think top 5 is doable at least. 10 could get tricky because it's all perspective. But what do you think, Law, for the top 5 most complete teams?
They're gonna go with Kansas City, Eagles, Jets, Bills. Who else they suck off a lot. Let me see. Oh, I said that live. Oh my God, I said that live.
No,
I don't know. Y'all go ahead.
keep saying it because that's the type of stuff we like to say on here.
No, I think okay. What we'll say here, out of the top 10.
You said Kansas City. You said Jets, Eagles,
Bills,
Chargers.
Bills.
Yeah, they love the Chargers, man. Oh, they love the Chargers. Yeah, they love.
Where do you think the Cowboys are going to rank on this?
A 9, maybe 10, right on the outside of it. I don't think we're top 5 at all. A quarter. I don't think we are. If we are, then I'll be happy. That they finally give us praises. But I don't think that they view.
You don't think they're gonna give us that?
Okay, so then secondary. What do you think they'll say? Cowboys could be in the top 5, but
yeah.
And then why?
Gilmore is 50 years old and Diggs give up, the most yards allowed type of stuff.
Dak had the most interceptions ever last year. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's have a look because I think
we're 8th. We're going 8th.
Yeah. Stop edging us here, AJ, and just start.
I feel like we're 8th.
There you go.
Eagles number 1.
Eagles number 1.
Okay.
Fuck
I love
you,
it.
Eagles.
I love that they're number 1 because it's going to be such a fall from grace when they're not. You know what? They have a great team. They're going to be they're a great team. But I do think they're beatable. And until I see that team with Jalen Hurts beat the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott, I'm not sold on them being the best team. So I need to see that team beat the Cowboys before I anoint them even the best team in the East.
Right.
Okay, so Eagles, KC.
KC Chiefs, okay.
Okay.
Obviously. They should have been 1 in my mind.
They should have been 1, to be honest. But hey, we'll take it. San
Fran. Frisco.
I forgot about San Fran. Yeah.
Nate Dogg was in the chat for a bit there, so fuck you, Nate, for being a 49ers fan.
Boo. I mean, they are good. They do have a good. Honestly, to me, the Niners, top to bottom, if Purdy can have the success that he had in his first whatever many games, I think they're scarier than the Eagles to me. Honestly, I do. I think they beat
Sure,
the Eagles
sure.
if they have Purdy. So
If
I find them scarier.
If Purdy continues his trend into 2023, yeah, San Fran has the quarterback that works for their system. That's scary.
Totally.
Again,
fuck them.
Bengals.
Bengals. I forgot about Joe
Yeah,
Burrow.
the Bengals.
Joe Macaulay Culkin Burrow. Okay.
All right.
I am the best. I'm going to be the highest paid quarterback ever.
I was left home. I was left by myself when I was 7 years old on Christmas, and I fended off 2 robbers.
Right.
That's why I'm the best quarterback. They can't touch me. You were sacked like 17 times in like 3 games.
You ever see that meme? Speaking of Home Alone, you ever seen that meme where they show the house that the McAllisters live in, and they're like, "What the hell does Kevin's dad do for?"
Oh yeah, all the time.
Because it's like,
lives in this house, takes 30 people to fucking Paris for Christmas. Like, what does Kevin McAllister's dad do?
And then also, Friends. It's like 6 broke. They're always broke or whatever, or living.
6 broke 20-somethings, and they have the biggest apartment.
Yeah, they have the biggest apartment in whatever New York City.
Whatever.
We call that Hollywood. Fellas.
Call it entertainment.
Okay. And then we go to 5.
Oh, 5.
5. Whoa, they love us.
Holy shit.
Remember when you said 9 or 10?
Yeah. Shame on me, man.
I'm surprised.
Shame.
I'm surprised an NFL.com article came out with the Cowboys at being the 5th most complete team going into the season. It kind of feels weird, to be honest.
It do.
What?
We only have reservations on what? Offensive line and maybe where else? We have
why don't you quick give us a summary, AJ?
What they're basically saying is that the defense could be a potentially top 5 unit.
Potentially, fuck you.
Yeah,
NFL. Fuck you, NFL.
They say could definitely. I'll to quote them, it's could definitely field the top 5 unit. Okay, they say they're loaded. Linebackers are well stocked. Cornerbacks are improved. And on offense, of course.
Oh, here's the however.
The addition
however. Yeah.
No. There is the however. Right here.
Okay, here's the line. On offense, however, there are at least depth concerns at almost every spot.
I think that's fair,
including quarterback.
Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah.
Dak Prescott is coming off a challenging season, and the Cowboys probably can't afford him missing another 5-game chunk in 2023. Didn't we go 4-1 when he missed those games? I don't know.
No, but keep going, because this is the stupidest sentence that I think they wrote.
Cooper Rush ably replaced Prescott and is back. But is he truly a top-tier backup? That's about all they have at QB. Well, yeah.
No, here. I read that line and it pissed me off, so I crunched some numbers. Now, if you remove his terrible Philly game, which of course is cherry picking, but it also was the anomaly, and he threw for like exceptionally more times. So Cooper Rush against the Eagles when he threw 3 interceptions. So leading up until that game, that terrible, no good, very bad game, he was throwing 61% completion percentage, 7 yards per average attempt, and had 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he wasn't losing football games.
Perfect for a backup.
What more do you want from your backup quarterback, right?
Yeah. But is he truly a top-tier backup? Well, your quarterback goes down. Everybody thinks the season's done, and we go 4-1. Yeah, I mean, he's probably up there. That's why
I was about to hang myself after week 1. So
I know.
We're glad you didn't.
There's video footage of me after the game, like as close to crying as I could be as a grown man, and Cooper Rush completely came out there and went 4-1 in the next 5 games. So I fuck those guys. He's a top tier backup in my mind. He did exactly what he needed to do. They schemed to his strengths. If anything, they should have kind of used what they did with Cooper Rush and used a little bit with Dak Prescott.
They should have.
Yeah. What's their last line? It goes, so Dallas also needs to find a kicker, but all in all, this is one of the best NFL rosters from top.
Wow.
Scroll down a little bit. From
top to bottom?
From top to bottom.
Who's the writer? Who's the writer of that?
Yeah, let's check out the writer of this. I got to check that out. Good call.
Who's that guy?
Barry Bones? What?
Barry Bones. it don't count now.
Eric Edholm.
Eric Edholm.
Oh,
Probably.
Edholm.
At home, okay. We're
Okay.
gonna
Let's
tweet him.
respect.
We're gonna tweet him.
Yeah.
You can tweet.
Hey, we
him.
got some stuff to talk about, Mister. Let's just run through this list quickly here. So we got the Bills at 6,
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens at 7.
Okay, well, you got Beckham and you got Lamar. Okay.
And there's your Jets.
There's the Jets, 8.
Jets after Ravens. Interesting.
Seahawks. What
Whoa.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. They got JSN and Sharby.
Yeah.
They should.
They had a good draft.
Yeah, they should be on the list.
They
Yeah, they
had
should
a
be on
good
the list.
They had a very, very good draft.
And they got all of the running backs, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking about six running backs. They're doing the 2016 Cowboys here right now.
And finally, Chargers.
Oh, yeah,
Chargers,
there's the Chargers.
what?
You think they should be higher?
No. That's good. They within the top 10. So
Top 10?
You,
yeah.
and you said you called Chargers are going to be on the list.
yeah, they're gonna be on the list. You know, they love the Chargers. They love them, and they love the Jets. I heard Jets Super Bowl. They're going to the Super Bowl. So can't
love
wait
to
to
hear
see them week. What we play the Jets week 2.
Week 2.
Yeah.
Week
Oh.
2.
Get that Rodgers.
Hey, Law, I gotta ask you, what games are you going to this season? Like home games?
I'm trying to go to all of the home games, but if not, I'm gonna try to make that first home game, and we'll see. I got some things that's working out right now with some sponsors, so hopefully, I get a chance to be at every home game. So,
because we're gonna be traveling down for the Thanksgiving Day game.
okay,
We're gonna hit up Charlotte, North Carolina for the Panthers Cowboys game week 11, and then we're gonna drive or fly over to Dallas, Arlington for the
Thanksgiving
Day game. So
okay.
again,
What's the records when y'all go to the games? What's the record?
I think we're Thanksgiving. So this is going to be our third Thanksgiving. So on Thanksgiving we're 1-1 right now.
Okay.
But our total games traveled together, we are 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it.
So
Yeah,
we're-
And that was the Raiders game. Our loss was that Raiders game. Yeah, and it was a fucking fabulous game to go to, but Jesus, what a shitty ending.
Shitty ending.
Yeah. They found them call on Michael Parsons. Hey, at the end when we had the ball, we tried to go to Noah Brown. That should have been the foreshadowing of the next season, right? Don't go to Noah Brown.
Yeah, he's gonna get picked. Anthony Brown with like 1,400 defensive pass interferences.
Right.
Yeah,
3rd and Brown. That's what that was also.
3rd and Brown. Right? Yeah, 3rd and Brown. Go. Yeah, definitely.
Before we do the Super Bowl odds, I just something that we haven't talked about is linebackers, or we maybe just kind of brushed on them. So let's do some linebacker talk. A little Sports Illustrated article here, written by Harrison Reno. Thank you, Harrison. But basically, we're looking at Clark Cox Overshown.
We're looking at Clark's Cox. I don't know if we should.
Pause.
Pause
we
for a
are
second.
looking at Clark.
Wait a minute.
First,
It actually worked out because you said
all
Overshown after. Yeah, it almost worked out.
Real fast all together again.
Clark Cox Overshown. That
works out.
Yeah, that is a law firm I do not want to fuck with. I tell you right now. But here's the numbers with LVE. Now, Ant, I'll let you speak about LVE after I put this down, because we put some pressure on that boy and he responded. But with LVE, the Cowboys defense had a 65% success rate against the run compared to a 47% without him last the season, like when he was out. Yeah. And so that's just kind of the biggest metric from this article that I pulled out that kind of shows, okay, so we got LVE solidified in the center. Parsons is playing rogue agent here on the field. What does our linebacker situation look like? What's the kind of potential, I don't know, schemes we might see them out there with who we have on the team right now?
Well, I don't know what you're thinking, but for me, the selection of Overshown in the 3rd round Jabril Cox should be the most worried guy on the team right now. With that pick of Overshown, I think they're taking him, and they took Damone Clark to be the guy they were hoping Cox would be. Out of those three guys, out of Clark, Overshown, and Cox, whoever ends up kind of being the best out of those three, I think you're going to have a very, very, very good football player.
No doubt. I look at Clark last year around this time. He wasn't out there at OTAs. He wasn't practicing. He wasn't doing anything. He was recovering. And when his number was called during the season, Clark showed us a lot of promises, right? To the point and to the degree we was like, get Anthony Barr up out of here, man. Come on.
Toss him. Toss him.
Get him up out of here. So now the stat line that you presented with LVE, that's remarkable. And even looking back at LVE scouting tape before he made it to the National Football League, he have to play with a good front, right? You got to keep it clean for him, and you want to see him rally, scrape, and do his thing with his height and his speed. I know it don't look like he's moving fast, but he is moving fast. So hopefully by the new addition, not the group, but the Mazi and Osa all up front, hopefully we will see a better version of LVE. So, yeah, the writing is on the wall for Jabril Cox because we've been waiting to see what he can bring to the table for many a moons, and he haven't done anything for us outside of one game, and it was against Daniel Jones, right? You guys remember that, right?
Yeah, he knocked him out.
Yeah, he
knocked him right out.
That's
Celebrated.
The only time we seen Cox. Pause. But, so everything else is writing on the wall for him, for Overshown to step in, and it could be a situation and scenario that Overshown could be a bigger version out of what we've seen out of J-Ron Curse. They may want to get bigger at that spot, and Overshown is about 10 to 15 pounds bigger.
So that's one thing we've heard a little bit. We had that. Crack him, Just crack him.
Let me get in.
Get both of you. Double crack him. Double crack him.
Oh, hey,
cheers.
Cheers. So we've heard that a little bit. So people were saying in our chat last week that Let's would end up taking over for, I think they were saying Tyron Smith, and then Overshown would take over for J-Ron Curse, and then Deron Bland would take over for Jordan Lewis, which it makes sense, but it's still a lot of hopes and ifs, right? Like Overshown he hasn't played a snap in the NFL, and J-Ron has been a very, very good football player for the Cowboys in the last 2 years. In a perfect world, Overshown comes in and totally either supplants Cox or Curse, right? As fans, that's what we want realistically. Right. Sure, we have these favorite players, but as fans, what we should want is our rookie picks outplay guys on second or third contracts, right?
No doubt. And let's not sleep on Devin Harper. He's another guy. There's a 4-4 guy. He's fast. He rallied. He chased. He had the Achilles bruise last season, so he was pretty much, on the bench for recovery. But when he was playing in preseason, we was like, hey, look at number 50. Look at number 50. So that linebacker room is very, very intriguing.
Yeah, what my ideal scenario would be to re-sign that who is it, Hooker and Curse for another 2 seasons. Keep that
safeties. Keep
those safeties locked up for the next what it would be 3 years from this next year coming up, right? You sign them for 2 more,
right?
And then using Overshown. How I imagine that he's going to come in and play well in the NFL is that coverage linebacker. Mm-hmm. And now we're shifting more of like a Parsons, Lawrence, maybe 3 or 4, maybe obviously 2, but maybe 3 linemen, and having more of Overshown playing like a shifted kind of backfield there where Overshown's playing kind of a linebacker safety situation, and letting the line just have those like beasts rush in. So that's how I think I would love to see Overshown be used. But he may be a complete linebacker, so I wouldn't want to take that away from him. But if that's the scenario, I can see that. I can see him playing that position.
No doubt. And let's not sleep on the abilities of these guys. Overshown, safety, former safety, before he got positional flex to being a linebacker in college. So he got safety hips, so he can play that hook to flat. He can jump routes on balls and everything like that. So that's going to be a good situation for us. And the land of the unknown, the Isaiah land. You know, they call him Zay.
The promised land.
Yeah,
the promised land.
Yeah. Anytime the defensive coordinator speak about a guy that went undrafted glowingly like he did, shoot.
Yeah.
He gonna get at least a chance.
Yep.
Yeah, and he had some great stats. If memory serves me correct, he played with Marquise Bell.
True.
In something Forest. Was it Forest or
Lake Forest?
No, Florida. A place in Florida, I believe. Anyways, maybe I'm wrong. They played together. They played.
But
that's how DQ got him on his radar. And of course, Bell spoke highly of him, and he had some great stats too. We talked about him on the last cast, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's the type of guy who could show up and be just the most driven guy on the field, and that's what you need in the NFL is just like that competitive edge.
Right.
There's nothing better than the undrafted free agent success story.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, shall we?
I mean, there is. It's a father drafting his son in the 6th round and being the second coming for. I mean, I'm just saying.
And then
a father drafting his son.
Well,
drafted son.
Getting to call his kid and getting him onto the team.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
and then him actually turning into the.
Jerry says he's my son now.
Yes, indeed.
I'm taking him.
It's funny because I didn't even know what the fuck you were talking about when you said that. I was like, a father drafting his son in the 6th round.
Together.
That is a good story, though.
You know what Jerry really want, though.
I want me some glory hole.
Oh,
Jerry really want.
Dirty dog. And you know what? That's not even AI. That's legitimate Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones right there.
Jerry Jones just wants some glory hole.
There ain't no text to speech AI on that one.
So we try to stay away from doing bets, but sometimes it's just a flick of a finger away. And
just because I'm so bad at it.
No, but Anth will be like, I'm not betting, and then he'll send us kind of this like gray area bet where it's on the game, but it's not like what we talked about, so you can still get away with it, whatever. But yeah, no. So anyways, I don't know if you do any betting, or I don't really understand the fucking odds, but I can.
I can just say, man, the top. All right, let's do this. The top teams in the NFC
for the Super Bowl odds.
Okay.
So this is it. So all it is,
just rank them. We don't have to put
all it's going to show.
It's
going to show Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl odds for the 2023 season. They're going to give you a number. It's going to be plus a number, right? All you do is you take that number and you times that by whatever you would bet on, and that's what you would win if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. So if I put $100 and it's plus 100, it's $200 I win.
No.
Yeah. No. So sorry, I fucked up. So it's going to be. I already looked at this list. Let's get down to the Cowboys odds, and I'll explain.
All right.
They're plus 1,800. So if you bet $100
16 on this, maybe 16. It's changed. Maybe it changed.
So if you bet $100 on the Cowboys, you would win 1,600.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So you won. So if it's plus 100, you just get $100. No, nothing.
Yeah, you get $100. So if you bet,
God.
if they're plus six,
just keep going.
So if they're plus 1,600, and you bet $1,000, and the Cowboys make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, you would win $16,000. So every year I bet $100 on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl because it's $100, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do it for this reason. I would bet $100 on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl so that if they were in the Super Bowl, I could kind of justify paying to go to the Super Bowl. And then if they won, it was like, okay, well, at least a little bit of, at the time when I first started doing it, doing that $100 bet would almost pay for your full ticket. Now Super Bowl tickets are so damn expensive that you'd almost have to throw a couple $100 at it for them to win, for it to be paid. Because I think last year, just to get a seat in the house, I think it was like $7,000, like USD. So you'd have to be betting $300 or $400 on the Cowboys to win it. But I'll ask this. You guys aren't bettors. You aren't gamblers. I'll ask you guys this. Is this, in the last 5 years, our best chances at possibly making the Super Bowl?
Yeah, man, I think this is our best chance right here. Credit to the coaching staff. Credit to if everyone is healthy. This is our best chance.
The NFC quarterback race is very weak. I would say there's two horses in it: Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. Anyone else are way below the quarterback play.
Who's the top 5 quarterbacks right now in the NFC?
Oh shit, man! I think half of them are in the NFC Beast.
Well, you got to go at least. You got to go Dak. You got to go Hurts, right? You got to give it to Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
You have to put him in the top 5. He's got the resume for it. Then it gets very thin.
Do you go with Carr?
I like
do you
Goff.
go Carr? Do you put Goff? No, I think Goff is above Carr and as
Me too.
well as Kirk
Cousins,
right? So
I agree.
That's what I mean. That you could take. You get,
But any one of those 3 guys.
Those first three you got, but after that, it's kind of
there's a legitimate
hard.
argument that, and there's no hate or no shade thrown at Jalen Hurts, but it's still a situation where we still got to say, hey, can he do it again, right?
Exactly.
So
No, I agree.
I wouldn't give him that crown to be the number 2 guy. You know, I think that you have to push him back further on that list. But I know some people right now mad punching at the wind right now. How you dare you, Law? You know, Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC, but he just still got to prove it again.
To me, like I said, I already said to you guys in this while we were recording, I need to see Jalen Hurts beat Dak Prescott head to head for him to even be considered the best quarterback in the NFC East, let alone the NFC. Until Jalen Hurts can beat a Dak Prescott team, I honestly put Dak ahead of him. I kind of, in my mind, and I get trolled for this because I'm a Dak rider, right? I'm a realist, man. I think Dak Prescott right now with his team is probably the best NFC quarterback right now, and that's why I think of the last 10 years, I loved Tony Romo. Tony Romo was a huge Tony Romo fan. Did I ever think he was the best quarterback in the NFC when he played? Not really. I never thought he was the top dog in even the NFC. This year, Dak Prescott could arguably be the best quarterback in the NFC. This to me personally makes this our best window in the last 10 years.
A lot of people are saying in the chat over here, don't leave out Geno and of course Brock Purdy.
Again, I need to see Geno. I need to see Geno do it again. I need to see Brock Purdy coming off a terrible injury with his throwing arm. Geno Smith, he had an amazing season. He needs to also do it again, though. He has to do it again. But I think you mean in the top 5 there. Yeah,
top
I think
5.
there's that list of, to me, it's Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford. I would say Jalen Hurts just because of the people that he has around him.
True.
And then 4 and 5, you could make that
up.
list so many different ways.
You know what I love? I don't think anyone brought up Kyler Murray.
Fuck Kyler Murray.
Wow, yeah, I forgot about it. Tyler Murray. Yeah. I mean, Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Is he injured for all of next season or
No, but he'll be out for a bit.
he'll be out for a bit?
He probably won't even be there when the Cowboys play him. I think week 4. I want to say we play them week 4 or something like that. He's
Week
probably not
3,
even going to be
week
there.
3. When will we play
It's
them?
something. It's early. It's early.
Week 3.
Well,
I believe.
So just to wrap up these odds here, the Cowboys are ranked 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, behind
And
the
what is
Chiefs,
it? Plus 1,600.
plus 1,600.
So what? We're all going to put 1K down, guys, and go to the Super Bowl for free, or what?
I wouldn't mind that.
If they win.
But
They have to
wait a
win.
second. It's the odds. Yeah, it's the odds of winning the Super Bowl. So
Odds.
you're not making money unless they make it to the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl, right?
Oh,
Hey, you
yeah, it's
sound
winning.
Hey, you sound like a hater.
Sorry, there was an Eagles fan in the chat, and it kind of just started to get to me.
You sound like a hater. Yeah,
Not
but
a hater.
the trick is when you bet
Not
on
a
it,
hater.
and this is the thing. I've been doing this for the last 20 years.
Which
So
is
I'm already-
guess what? Which is
I'm already down
which is
2K.
probably why we haven't been getting to the Super Bowl. So don't make the bet this year. Don't make the bet this year. I'm telling you, don't make the bet this year. And I promise you, we're taking home the fucking Vince Lombardi this year.
All I heard from you was up the ante, so I'm up in the ante.
Law. Now, every time he bets, we fucking lose.
I wouldn't say every time, but yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, I would bet. I would bet $1,000. I would bet $1,000 on us, on you betting and us losing. That's what I would. That's a surefire win. And then we'll all go to the Super Bowl. We'll all go to the Super Bowl for free.
I will say this. So the last 2 seasons, I've predicted the Cowboys record. The last 2 years, and I went 12-5. That's pretty good odds. I went 12-5.
The question is, did you make a bet about your odds?
Yeah, every week I bet.
Bro.
I didn't.
Bro.
Anyways,
Hey, but look, we can hop off now, or Law, if you have, I'm not sure.
I got a question for Law.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just before you, so I don't forget. I just wanted to know if we wanted to go, because there was a little bit of a brief. Hey, sorry, let go of that. There was a brief moment of some interest in maybe going over the schedule in our pregame. I don't know if you have time for that. If not, we can always catch up with you later.
No, I have plenty of time.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, now I forgot what I was going to say, but I was just going to say to Law, because and it was a couple weeks ago. Congrats on breaking the 100K subs.
Oh,
that's huge. And anybody who puts effort into that knows how much of an accomplishment that is. Obviously, you're like, look, I've already passed 100K. I don't give about it anymore. But
it's super awesome too, because you're a really approachable guy, and I'm glad that we're forming this relationship here. You're also very inspirational to a lot of growing accounts out there. So your success is the rising tide that lifts all ships, as they say.
Yeah, but you know what? We're racing to a million.
We're racing to a million.
Racing to a million. Let's go. Let's get it. I appreciate that, man. You guys don't have me sobbing and crying over here. Come on,
let's cry. And we'll be like, Law was on our show and we made him cry like a little bit.
Like a baby. Oh, that was really endearing.
Law Nation, fly, Eagles, fly.
Hey, whoa, Adam.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
Hey, whoa, Adam. We don't do that here, okay?
Yeah, you almost got yourself ban-hammered, bro.
Who's going to ban me? I'll mute any one of you if I want. Or guess what? My computer's just going to crash anyway. So who gives a crap?
I know. Hey.
Okay.
So, we did a deep dive on the regular season. And I also saw. I watched your video as well. But you know what? Now we're together. Let's talk about it again. Maybe some perspective has changed. We start off here week 1, like you mentioned, back to back. First we go to New York to play the Giants, and then week 2 the Jets come to play the Cowboys in Texas. And what are those? Both Sunday games.
So
NBC, CBS.
Are you just telling them, or are you asking?
No, I'm putting that out there, and we can say what we think about it. Like, I like opening the season. Of course, they're going to do it with a divisional opponent.
Yeah. Sunday nighter.
Yeah, it's classic. The Cowboys are, to be honest, going to get the best kind of spots, right? They're going to put the Cowboys in the spotlight, especially now with back-to-back seasons like they've had. So it's exciting football. And then this New York Jets game just got a hell of a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
I see the angle that they went with. They went with the first 5 teams, all defensive type teams. And we're trying to unfold a new offense. And it takes some time for your offense to get together. So they're trying to keep us in the dark over here. They're trying to watch us fall a little bit, but I think it's going to reverse, and we're going to stump all of those teams.
What are you thinking? What do you think going into that bye week? Realistically, what are we sitting at going into that bye week?
So
with one loss, I believe we may have one loss on that list right there. I would want us to be undefeated to that point, but I think that you're playing against it's 7 teams we playing against, so it seems like it's going to be us playing against 14 teams. You got to count the officials, And I'm not aficionados. You know how it goes.
Fucking zebras.
Yeah, them damn Zebs. So, it's going to be one of those games that's going to be tight. I just don't know which one yet. But I'm trying to reserve myself before I give out my record prediction.
That's fine. Hey, we like it. We're not forced in the hand. We're not forced in the hand at all. But what do you think the Cowboys finish like their record?
Overall record.
I'm joking.
So hear me out. For 3 years in a row, I went down this record list and I had us going 13-4. So I've been off for the last 3 years. So, but the last 2 seasons, it seems as if though I'm a genius, right? On the games that I picked because we went back to back 12-5, 12-5. So I'm looking at this schedule right here. We could be anywhere between 12-5 and 13-4.
I like it. I like it.
12-5 is our floor now. That's good.
It's got to be. I think anything under. Although, okay, I'll ask you this: would you be okay with a 10-7? Well, this is obviously the answer you're going to give me. I already know. But imagine having a 10-7 season, and everyone's pissed that we finished 10-7. We end up being one of the wild card teams, but then we go on and make it to the Super Bowl. Like realistically, the goal for me is always to make the postseason. Obviously, you want to win your division to give yourself a home game. But at this point, I'm so starved for like getting past the divisional round. Just get into the contention of it and just get us to the NFC Championship game. Anything under an NFC Championship game to me is a failure for the season.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the path of the Super Bowl way via the Eagles last season. They beat the doggone, the Giants and the Niners, and that's it, right?
That's it.
That's it. And the Niners were bruised up, and Darius Slay said literally they used the Cowboys as a blueprint on how to beat the Niners. So hopefully we wasn't that far off last season of having the number 1 seed last year. Think about it. If we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Green Bay game and then actually played the last game of the year, then we could have had that number 1 seed. So, I look at it like that. We may be closer to that end of the Cowboys versus being the 10-7 version of the Cowboys. And hear me out.
Agreed.
Hear me out, y'all that's watching in the chat. Show me a time that we had back-to-back losses last season.
Yep.
We haven't. We haven't had no back-to-back losses, but all our losses feel as if though the whole world saw it and the sky's falling out of the sky, but we never lost back-to-back.
Well, even as Cowboys fans, some of our wins felt like the sky was falling. Like It's like there was times we're doing a post game stream and we're having call-ins, like we're having people call in, and we've won the game, and people are losing their absolute minds. Like we had multiple people call in. I was like, guys, we can never do that again. We can't have multiple people call in because it was like a war zone. Yeah. And we'd won the game.
Yeah.
So
the Minnesota Vikings game, we won 40-3. Now you know what? You see what happened? Man, y'all are some homers because Dak Prescott. See, he's the reason why we're trash.
All the time.
Exactly, all the time. It's like, what weird planet are we living on where you win a game and it's the end of the world? But that's
Cowboys Nation, baby.
That's the life of being a Cowboys fan, and we love it because it keeps you on your toes, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I got a question for you. Let's take it back to the Jets week 2. Rodgers has been a little bit of a cowboy killer over his last couple seasons in Green Bay. Do you think that the stigma is gone? Do you think we've broken that Rodgers Cowboys killer curse when we face him against the New York Jets? Week 2, offense, maybe he's still not sure with it. Team still hasn't put into that kind of clicking rhythm mode. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a problem week 2?
All respect to Aaron Rodgers. He is the John Wick. He's the John Wick. Like, did we hit his dog? Did we kind of accidentally kill his dog? I goes all the way back to 2014, right, when he had one leg out there and he was managed to beat us in that season. Of course, that was the catch, no catch. I think that Aaron Rodgers, the way he started his career, losing to the Cowboys, you guys remember that?
Yep.
Very first game, he lost to the Cowboys, that he always had a chip on his shoulder every time we played them. Granted, we did beat them in 2016, that regular season, I believe, but ever since then, Aaron Rodgers is like John Wick. When he's down, he's never all the way down. There's still a chance and an opportunity for him to carve us up and eat us up, or to kill us technically. So hopefully that stench is gone. Hopefully, since he's playing for the Jets now, right, and not Green Bay, hopefully
he's lost the magic.
Yeah, he lost the magic. He's not, he never beat us wearing 8, so he's not going to be wearing 12. So hopefully that will be the situation. He don't wear.
We're going to exercise some demons.
Yeah.
Well, someone in your chat said that we're going to retire him like we did Brady, which I can.
Yeah, I like it.
But
that's got to be in the Super Bowl though. Let's retire Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. I would love it.
Yeah, and on top of that, Aaron Rodgers back-to-back MVP seasons and everything, one and done in the playoff. Nobody talks about that. But you know what? The reason why really Aaron Rodgers didn't have a best season last year. Don't you know why?
Let's hear it.
Tell us.
No, they took away his psychedelics.
Really?
Psychedelics, Aaron Rodgers. Look it up. There's an article out there. He was playing lights out back-to-back MVPs. When they took away his psychedelics, he can't no longer take that extra stuff anymore. He's been pedestrian a little bit, so hopefully
he's out there fucking rolling on mushrooms.
Yeah,
he was killing us on mushrooms.
He was microdosing mushrooms, and he's like, microdosing? No, I'm taking fucking full caps here, bro.
He's like fucking Mario. He gets better when he touches the mushroom.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
One thing we pointed out though was kind of this end of the season run. And you can pick your date, but I would say from week, say 14, maybe arguably week 13, but onward, it's a nice run into the playoffs. Playoffs, Seattle, Philadelphia,
Frozen.
Buffalo, Miami, Detroit, and Washington.
Man, way before that time frame, if you look at week 9.
Yeah. Philly.
That is the moment that they robbed us. They should have had us playing the Eagles week 2.
Yeah.
Or they could have had us at least playing the Eagles week 3, but we got to wait all the way to week 9.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And but that's the thing. Everyone wants the Eagles game, right? And I thought the same thing. I thought I would have loved a season opener against the Eagles, to be honest.
True.
But I also am happy by week 9. There's no excuses. As long as there's no injuries, there's no excuses. By week 9, these teams should be flawless, right? Week 2, you beat them. It's like, okay, well, it's week 2. We're doing this, and this. Week 9, barring injury, like if Jalen Hurts is injured or Dak Prescott's injured, there's no excuses. You got your team there. You've had 9 weeks to prepare for this. It's a division foe. Whoever wins this game is the better team. And I'm excited. Week 9 is circled for me, you fellas.
Oh,
week 9 circled, yeah. And I think everyone's missing out on this run of Fox games from week 8 through 11. I mean, Fox Network is just going to be cat. No, I'm just kidding.
So Cowboys. So Fox usually does the NFC games. And then CBS does AFC. So Cowboys will always get a shit ton of Fox games.
Oh, okay.
Snap. So where's Troy and Joe at now? They're not going to be on Fox. Who's going to call those?
No, I think a lot of the time it was Greg Olson and whatever little dweeb he had with him.
It's going to be depending on what happens with Brady. Brady will be calling the Fox games, won't he?
Possibly.
I heard Tom Brady just got subpoenaed to appear in court, something like that. He's going to jail or something, right?
Good.
Really?
What?
Yeah. You didn't hear that?
No.
Wow. Breaking news.
Breaking news here on Can Fan. Tom Brady is apparently going to go to.
That's what happens
stuff.
That's what happens when you sell your soul to win 7 Super Bowls. Eventually, it catches up to you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's not still in Florida. The Florida prison system's not supposed to be too kind, specifically to dudes like fucking Tom Brady.
No.
Yeah. Allegedly.
They're
Let me
gonna-
throw this word out. Alleged, because I forgot.
Allegedly,
Tom Brady
Hey,
and Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, they got to appear in court. You know?
Well,
whoa.
here's the other thing, though, is he's also allegedly set to become a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, what the hell?
Why all of this?
Tom
happening?
Brady gets divorced and he says, I'm a fucking wild businessman now. I'm free from football. And yeah.
I'm going to become a Raider, and then after they don't do well this season, I'm going to become a quarterback for the Raiders.
Tom Brady he's going to Benjamin Button himself into a baby.
Yeah.
He already is.
He's going to become so youthful.
Yeah. Tom Brady's drinking some of that lion's mane. He's fucking getting younger and tougher every fucking year.
But I don't know. The end of the season here, I just like this run of Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit, Washington. Washington. Yeah, I mean, in Washington,
that's a toss-up game. But that's a hell of a run when you talk about Seattle, Eagles, Buffalo, Miami. And then you have the Detroit. That's a run.
Yeah.
Those are all
battle-tested
offensive teams that you're going to have to be ready for. So we get defense a little bit on the front end and offensive run on the back end. That's going to be a hell of a schedule down the stretch.
Do you like them having a tougher schedule at the back half of the season, going into the playoffs, or would you prefer them to kind of have a little bit of a soft serve ice cream schedule in the back nine?
I want us to fight going in, not being too relaxed. And these teams on the back end, they may all change, right? The fortunes may be over with, as far as from what we're looking at. But I'm looking at the mentality of those teams, especially from Washington, Seattle, and Philly. Those are teams that are going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball all over you. So you're going to have to make sure that your run game or your run-stopping game is there. And then when you look at the Buffalo Bills team, that's going to be a team that's like to air it out, throw it in the air, what have you. So you're going to have to be ready for that.
Diggs versus Diggs, baby. Diggs versus Diggs.
That's going to be a primetime moment there. And then Miami, that's the team that can run the rock. They got A-Chain. They got speed everywhere. A-Chain on the running back. They got Tyreek Hill, a Ninja Turtle. He can just do everything. Jalen Waddle.
The Penguin. The Penguin.
Yeah, you're going to have your full – you're going to have everything in front of you ready. And then the Detroit Lions, they're looking for revenge, right? That's a team that can run and throw. So we're going to have our hands full.
Now, with the bye week on week 7, where do you want the bye week for the Cowboys? Do you like the bye week at week 7, or you don't really give it an F?
No, that's cool, because I think that they gave us after the bye week. Of course, we got a slew of games. I think we got like 3 games at home. Where do that start? Because
it goes after the bye week. It goes to LA. Okay. Back home against Philly, to New York.
No, it's versus. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
See that hand holding right there, Law?
You're right.
We do that sometimes. So Rams are at Dallas, and then we're at Philly.
Yeah.
And then we home.
And then at home against New York.
No, it's home, away, home, away, home.
Damn,
so then
we had 3 home games in a row.
And then there's 3 home games in a row.
There
12, 13, 14. Yeah.
That's what we like to see at the end of the season.
That's a little.
Yeah, you need that.
That is nice. And they'd actually, through weeks 12, 13, and 14, they got 2 Thursday night games.
Yeah, so that's a little cushion.
Yeah, it's quite a big cushion. It's nice that they give them that rotation, that double Thursday night rotation, because that keeps your players rested. All right, well, shit, dudes.
Yeah, hey, that was great. Law, man. Always a absolute pleasure having you, man. It's great to talk. I can't wait to have you on where, like, right now we call it the Sahara a little bit, where there's football happening, but it's not crazy amount. Like it's kind of hard to talk. I mean, you put us four in a room, we're gonna talk for 10 hours about football.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to have you on where it's either training camp or we're meeting with you in Oxnard or the season's going. But either way, it was a blast having you here, man. We appreciate it. Obviously, like we said, you don't need any type of shout out, but if you want to give a shout out to yourself, let people know where you're from. Actually, if anything, we're live streaming on your channel.
Yeah,
right
let's fucking shout out us. Jeez.
We're gonna give a shout out.
Anybody who's watching on Law Nation's channel right now, search us up on all social media platforms. Cowboys Can Fan. If you like Law Nation stuff, and you'll like our stuff because we're Dallas Cowboy fans.
That was not a good way of saying it.
I know.
At Cowboys Can Fan on any social media platforms. Law, appreciate you helping us out, coming on, man. Like we said, 105K subscribers. We're still low on the totem pole, and we appreciate.
We're coming for you. Get ready.
Come on.
Let's go.
Hey, guys, man, be sure to follow my boys from the north, man. And I can't wait to meet up with you guys, man. You guys pump out some great content all together. And people, I want y'all to know, man, this is more than just being on YouTube. These guys are on TikTok, Twitter, as well as Instagram and Facebook. So we're on multiple outlets and multiple platforms. And as I grow, we all grow. That's how this thing's supposed to go, man. I'm rhyming for your mind, man. Come on.
We love it. We love it.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm calling this out for the bandwagon boys over there and me over here. Just play the fucking outro music. We ain't gonna up that.
Oh, you want the outro music? You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have it on my soundboard now. Though.
That's okay.
okay. We got
it on ours. We're playing it right now.
All right. Thanks for your time. How about them Cowboys?
How about 'em, baby?
Spartans! Glory!